Welcome back, little people. By now, you've probably gotten pretty good at Grounded. I love this game, and while I've not mastered it yet, I've come across some pro tips that might make your first time playthrough a little more successful. I'm still pretty new, but these tricks have helped me out a ton. Don't worry, there won't be any spoilers to the story here, and if you're new to Grounded, circle back to my top 10 tips and tricks for beginners video linked in the description before watching this one. If you've been grinding bugs a while and are looking to improve, you're in the right spot. Grab a shield and a smoothie because these are my top 10 tips and tricks for intermediate players. Let's get started. Number 1. Invest time in zip lines. By now, you've probably found a number of mutation combinations to help you scoot around the yard as quickly as possible. You'll always need more red ant eggs, acorns, and grub sludge, and you may have bases or camps strewn all over the yard. But what's the fastest way to get there? Zip lines. Zip lines not only fly you across the yard faster than you can run, they do so in a straight line. While zipping, you can manage your inventory, adjust your mutations, and even read up on your bug data. You'll want to place them as high as you can. If you're using a super long zip line, you don't want to bump into a flower or a bristle or you'll fall, and then you'll be back to running around in your aphid slippers. Consider a zipline intersection or two and save some time on traveling. Keep some spider silk handy. Number 2. Build bridges and ramps. Once you get into the upper yard, there will be several points of interest that you can only reach through extensive parkour or by building a way over there. Now, to be fair, there are lots of options out there that can look really cool, but I like the quarter pebblet foundation built in a straight line. It takes only one pebble and one clay to build a section, and they can span even the farthest distances with minimal effort. The ramps only take 2 pebblets and 1 clay. If you're trying to cross a moat or span a ravine, consider one of these super easy solutions. Number 3. Revisit old points of interest. Grounded ensures that you encounter a lot of things that you can't do yet. You start in a suitcase next to mints and weed stems that require tools that take a great deal of exploring to create. This is why it's important to circle back and revisit old points of interest. Without giving away too much, I can almost guarantee that you harvest most of the quartzite and marble nodes you found, but have left several untouched because you found them without a level 2 or 3 busting weapon. I found that in addition to upgrade nodes, that I've overlooked weapon recipes and storyline folders hidden in plain sight. I've also found inventory caches I've left behind in areas where I found myself overflowing with treasure. Circle back to old places to see what you've missed. Number 4. Keep a steady supply of brat bursts, or bombs. You probably already know this by now, but I've continually failed to keep a bomb or two on me and was forced to revisit some points of interest in the yard. Also, I'm a sucker for throwing bombs in fights where I'm overwhelmed just to see it rain bug guts. So I'm always running out. Many treasures, recipes, and molars are hidden behind areas that require a bomb to get through. So do yourself a favor and build a workbench outside of the red anthill with a tall supply of fungal growth so you can BBOS, build bombs on sight. Number 5. Quick slot those trinkets. So I'm slow to recommend a primary loadout to players. I think we all have our preferences, and while there are some that are just better than others, you should play the way you like. But when it comes to mutations and trinkets, you more or less need to be proactive. Places like the sandbox and the grill spill cause sizzle or overheating, and there is a trinket for that. The haze lab and fungus valleys have exploding bugs, and there is a trinket for that. There's even a dandelion trinket that's infinite use if you can find it. I like to keep all of my favorite trinkets quick slotted for ease of use. Trinkets stack with mutation loadouts, so if you find yourself overwhelmed, shuffling mutations and trinkets can reset your approach. Number 6. Eat good food. Now, I'm not your daddy, but if I had to superimpose my will onto you, it'd be to ensure that you eat your vegetables, or in this case, super effective bug dishes. Some foods replenish health, and others affect stamina regeneration and damage output. Either way, these are not the recipes you eat when you first wake up. Eat aphids for breakfast, for crying out loud, but the Black Ox Burger is a solid choice before going into a fierce battle. Check out these other recipes and pick ones that complement your loadout. Remember, eat garbage for breakfast and good stuff before battle. Number 7. Upgrade your outposts. The only thing better than eating good is sleeping better. One tip that I brought up in the last tips and tricks video was to make lean-tos and to put them friggin' everywhere. But if you'll spare a little time and upgrade your trail marker camps, you know, the little outposts you make so you know which way you're heading at a glance, you'll get the benefits that come with being well rested. Of course, the simple bed requires a few things to make, and crow feathers aren't always easy to find. But if you started min-maxing your gameplay a bit, getting a good night's rest is the next step. Now go to bed! Number 8. Make bugs fight each other. If you're like me, sometimes you wander into a gaggle of orb weavers and you refuse to back down. In moments like these, you can sometimes pull a fire ant or ladybird into the fray, and if the bugs accidentally hit each other, you can sit back and spare the stamina for a bit. Once one of the bigger threats goes down, you can seize the day and clean up. If you get lucky and involve neutral bugs like roly-polies or ladybugs, they'll just wander off if they win, and you can collect the prize. Forget what your mama taught you and get everyone involved when you pick a fight. Number 9. Harness the power of duplication. It's easy to forget that once you've completed the Hedge Lab and received a duper disc, you can mosey on over to Burgle's joint and freaking duplicate your gear. It costs a pretty penny in raw science, but if you need a few more Broodmother parts to make your full set of Mother Demon armor, then the Super Duper Disc is a go-to solution. If you like hiding multiples of trinkets and caches all over the yard, the Super Duper Disc can help with that too. It's a great way to mitigate the grind. And number 10, don't repair your gear if you're about to upgrade it. Okay, this one is low-key silly, but if you're not already aware of this, upgrading your gear fully restores its durability. This took me a while, and even now I still forget. Before you squander your repair glue for a piece of armor that's not fully upgraded, find enough marble or quartzite to get that next upgrade and enjoy the perks of a like-new piece of equipment. Well, there you have it. These are my top 10 tips and tricks for intermediate players. I'm sure there are several other tricks worth recommending, and if I've overlooked anything, please join the conversation down in the comments or over in the Discord. Grounded is such an incredible game packed full of mysteries, story-driven boss battles, and super rewarding nooks and crannies. It's definitely becoming a favorite. I can't wait to finish it. If you're looking for more Grounded content, check out Acrabnophobia and my Grounded cinematic playthrough playlists in the description. Stand with me!